Just missed it by a minute. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I withdraw my previous.
I appreciate you holding this hearing on an important topic, and as an avid fan of live music events and sporting events, I certainly appreciate the frustration that many Americans experience when faced with having to spend an exorbitant amount of money on tickets to see their favorite artist live in concert or when they come to town on tour. And I've had the opportunity. We have a new venue in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, so we're getting all the big acts are coming through, and I've had a chance to see a lot of them, and then a lot of sporting events as well. And so I appreciate how important this issue is to people all across this country. And I'm pleased, too, because the one thing I haven't seen yet is I haven't seen Hamilton, so I'm glad you were able to bring them to us with your gavel. But I would like to thank all the witnesses today.
There were tickets available here for $10, and you missed them. You were late. So.
Really? Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Excuse me just one moment. Mr. Sellers is making a note. Now, when I complained I was unable to see the show, nothing occurred between a pen. Mr. Chairman, we're delighted you're here, but if you get more than one, please let me know.
I'm sure there's a gift violation in there somewhere anyway. But I do want to thank all the witnesses for being here, and really do welcome your views on the phenomenon of ticket bots. And more, I guess, broadly, the health of the live events industry, and would welcome your recommendations with respect to federal legislation that would protect consumers in this marketplace who seek to purchase tickets. The bill Senator Moran is sponsoring, along with many others, is important bipartisan legislation, and I think it will ensure that everyone has a fair shot at seeing their favorite act or team without having to pay an arm and a leg to do so. So it's my hope that this hearing will provide the kind of feedback that will enable us to include this bill on the agenda for the committee's upcoming markup. Just a couple of quick questions. Mr. Seller, can you give us an example of the face value of a Hamilton ticket as compared to a price on the secondary market?
Yes, Senator. A face value for Hamilton is currently $199 in New York City. In Chicago, it's somewhat less. And if you go right now to StubHub and try to get a ticket for this coming weekend, you will see tickets ranging from anywhere from $650 to $2,000 each.
Commissioner, how do ticket bots affect fans' access to collegiate sporting events? And would you say that all sports are affected, or does the phenomenon generally affect just basketball and football games?
Yeah, I think, Senator, it's predominantly basketball and football, although we see it somewhat in College World Series and other high-demand ticket situations. So, but it's primarily in football and men's basketball, to a lesser extent in some of the other sports where culminating activities at the end of the season are hard to get tickets to, and I think we also see it in our bowl environment and in the college football playoff.
This would be for Mr. Cohen and Mr. Legal. I'd like to explore the reasoning behind why companies like StubHub and Ticketfly oppose ticket bots. As leading companies in the live events industry representing primary and secondary ticket sellers respectively, it would seem that ticket bots might actually help your bottom lines. For primary ticket issuers, for instance, bots move tickets quickly, and in the secondary market, they help create inventory. And of course, in both cases, they do so at the expense of the ticket buying public, which, again, as we pointed out earlier, makes the consumer experience both more frustrating and expensive. But in an age where consumers have a variety of entertainment options, at what point does the expense and frustration that ticket bots cause drive consumers away from live entertainment?
It's a great question. I think that that connection between the fan and the artist, that the artist may be trying to price their tickets below that short-term price maximizing point to really establish a connection with their fans and turn them into avid fans of them as a live act. That I think as bots, as quickly as they might get tickets into certain people's hands, I do think that they frustrate that purpose, that the artist might set the tickets below that profit maximizing point in order to really foster that relationship with the fan. And that frustration, their inability to get tickets at a reasonable price really puts at risk that relationship over time.
There's two major concerns we have. One is we're in a market where tickets become more and more just tickets, primary, secondary. Just the ability for people to buy and sell tickets becomes a generic. And as such, we have more and more bots hitting our own sites and systems and costing us server space cost of that. So there's a natural reason that it costs us extra funds that we don't need to spend. The second reason is that it does drive markets in a way in which you're exactly right. Most of the time, nobody cares about bots because they sell through more tickets. Right? One of the great concerns we have on the criminalization piece is the ability for a private actor to make a determination as to whether or not something, because of their own belief, is that they've crossed the line to criminal bot behavior versus just an automated system in which somebody was gathering up the tickets for them. So there's an identification and a determination made by a private actor as to this is an illegal act by somebody else. That's a question as to, there's some actual constitutionality questions around whether you like having private actors make those calls. But in general, we believe the law as it's been drafted the Senate bill does not have criminalized measures in it, and therefore we don't think it would harm any of the potential good uses for bots in which one private actor made a determination that they didn't want to have any resale or any sale to a specific set of people. But in general, we're for it.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I think that covers, my time's expired, but appreciate your leadership on this issue, and hopefully we can get the bill moving. But thank you so much to the panel for your observations and insights today. It'll be very helpful as we move forward.